Hi everybody, welcome back to the sixth in our series of 60-second tips. Today I'd like to talk to you a bit about behavior and behavior modification. When it comes to behaviors, they can kind of be classified into two groups. You have behaviors that are learned behaviors. These are behaviors that may serve a purpose, may not. Behaviors like sit. So basically when the dog was a puppy, you cue the sit. The dog sits, you give him a treat. That's operant conditioning at its finest. The treat is conditional upon the dog performing the behavior. Fantastic way to teach those behaviors. On the flip side of the equation, you have behaviors that are being caused by emotions, i.e. fear, aggression, anxiety. These are involuntary behaviors. They're not necessarily learned, and they're not something that a dog has a whole lot of control over. If you go about trying to train a dog out of those involuntary behaviors, those behaviors that are being caused by emotion, you're going to be met with a lot of frustration. What do I mean by it? Okay, a dog is fearful of people. Person approaches, the owner waits to give the dog a treat until the dog stops barking, until the dog stops growling. Well, that's not really doing anything to fix the underlying cause of it, i.e. the dog feeling uncomfortable about the person approaching. When it comes to dealing with involuntary behaviors, you can't really attack it from an operant conditioning perspective. You need to instead attack it from a classical conditioning perspective. With classical conditioning, the reinforcement, the reward, the whatever, is independent of the dog's behavior. Basically what you're doing with a classical conditioning perspective is you're trying to change around the emotion. I.e., if the person approaches, whether the dog growls, whether the dog snaps, whether the dog barks, whatever, the dog still gets food, still gets the toy, still gets whatever. What you're doing is you're trying to change around the dog's emotional response to the given stimulus. I.e., if the dog associates a person approaching with good things happening, the dog will quickly learn to tolerate and maybe even like the person approaching. One is governed by operant conditioning, the other is governed by classical conditioning. Two very different perspectives, but you got to pick and choose when you use the one that you want to use. A lot of even trainers get confused over it. If you're facing behaviors that you think are being caused by, that are involuntary, that are being caused by emotions, do some research, do some reading on classical conditioning, and start implementing the tools that are recommended in that framework. If you do, you'll meet with a lot less frustration, and you'll wind up with a much happier dog. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, comments, comment below. And as with all my videos, if you would like more information on classical operant conditioning, when to use it, visit my website, nldogwhisperer.com. Check out the supplementary training, Ken's blog section, and just read through the articles that I've written there. Thanks all, and have a great day.